Now it really is goldenrod. That's only because it's the time of day. So, yeah, it's a bit late when I'm recording this, but I kind of woke up a bit late. I woke up at like just short of 4 p.m. God, I hate going nocturnal and whatnot. Oh well, we'll just have to move on. I don't know why I proceeded towards the radio tower, because we actually need to go into the underground since we got the key from Petrel at the end of the previous segment. And that is going to take us not down here. There's nobody down here. There's literally nobody down here, apparently. Only because this person is here. Yeah. Okay. Pointless little twirl aside. Using the basement key gets us into this place. And then we get to go down here. And then we got to get our team ready here, because not only do we have a whole bunch more rocket grunts to take care of, I don't even know who I want to lead with here, so I'll stick with Turbo Drum. Hopefully that's not going to be a terrible idea. Yeah, here we go. Right. Really? Well, of course he didn't show up. This is not anywhere near... This has no relevance to his interests. I mean, I'm taking care of the rest of Team Rocket now, but whatever. And so he just decides to fight you. It's like, oh, you want to fight these Team Rocket grunts? No, too bad. You're fighting me first. And now that he's finally got a team of 6, there's probably going to be some level of... It's probably going to have some level of difficulty, but... His leader's a Honchkrow, so I picked well to lead with Turbo Drum here. Are you going to die with the one Thunderbolt? Yep. Alright. I get the impression this is probably not going to be that difficult. Excuse me while I bring up the next Pokemon playthrough of the day so that I can talk about that. I'm not going to talk about it now, I'll talk about it a bit later when I'm dealing with the Rocket Grunts, but I figured I might as well bring it up now so I don't have to worry about it later. I should have just opened it up before I started recording, but whatever. Okay, so bringing in the starter immediately, that's obviously because Turbo Drum is part water. So, I could murder this thing with Flufin, but in this case I'm going to go with Talia. Throw an Ice Beam. Oh yeah, the Talia and Flufin, since they both got to 43, tried to learn Last Resort. I didn't give it to either of them, obviously. I think Last Resort, if my memory serves me correctly, is a move that you can only use once you've used all of the other moves on your moveset. And I think its only real purpose is, like, to be a powerful move. I think they're like gimmick sets where you just use one other move, like Toxic or something, and then you can use Last Resort and then just sort of hit hard. Might not be a terrible idea if you're looking to sweep, but whatever. Here's the Magma. I could go into Kaiser. I've got Surf. I could Hydro Pump it. Yeah, I'll go Kaiser. Try to give Kaiser a bit of a crack. I don't expect this thing to have any... It's not going to have any ice moves. It's not going to have Dragon Claw or anything like that. If it's going to have anything neutral, it's going to either be... It's probably going to be Cross Chop. Or it can have Focus Blast. Is that going to kill you? No, actually. That doesn't even do half damage. It's not even a 2KO. Barely not a 2KO, but, yeah. Okay, now you're just going to Will-O-Wisp. That means if it outspeeds me, it can probably kill me with one more Focus Blast, so... I may need to throw in something that can take that Focus Blast. Or I could just knock it out. I figured it was a 2KO, but RNG could have been an arsehole to me there. I don't really care that much about the burn here. Seadra is going to die to Trap Tricks. Unless it outspeeds me and uses Ice Beam, I'm fully expecting it. The fact that this guy's got Seadra right now means I'm going to have to be dealing with Kingdra later on. Yeah, I did not want to see that on his team, because he's totally going to evolve it. It's going to suck when he does. Not that I'm not going to be dealing with a Kingdra already, because Claire's obviously got hers, but point remains. I have to fucking deal with this asshole as well, having a fucking Kingdra. And that's gonna suck. Because I don't like Kingdras. And Gengar, I could stay in. I could stay in a Crunch, but it'll probably outspeed me and it might have Sludge Bombs, so... Let's try... I can't use Earth Power because it's got Levitate. Bring Turbodrum back in here with a Shadow Ball. I'm not too sure what this thing can get in regards to Grass moves. I know it can get Energy Ball because I use that on the Gengar that I use to sweep the Elite Four with if I need to level stuff up in Sun. It might also get Giga Drain. It also has Hypnosis, which is far more obnoxious than it has any right to be in this situation. Yeah, there's the Giga Drain. In that case, I will switch out to Bulbat, because Bulbat's just going to tank that quite easily. Yeah, the anticipation was correct there, because it's got Thunder as well. In that case, I'm going to have to switch out again. I'm fully expecting this thing to have Shadow Ball as its last move then, so it shouldn't have a Poison move to deal with shit with. That doesn't do a whole lot. I was actually hoping I get Paralyzed. I'd probably be able to do better with Paralysis over Sleep. Because because it'll outspeed me, but then it can't put me to sleep, but whatever. I'll go for the Crunch here. Yeah, there's the Shadow Ball. I don't think any of its attacks can actually do that much to Trap Tricks. I think they're all resisted. So I think it's just a matter of hitting this thing with a Crunch and putting it on its ass. And given that it doesn't have the strongest physical defense, that was not that difficult for something of Trap Tricks' caliber, I guess. Don't know why I was thinking of Austin Powers reference there, but whatever. Now, the thing with Alakazam is I know for a fact that this thing can get Focus Blast, so I don't want to keep Trap Tricks in because I know it's going to get put on its ass. So here I'm going to see what Fire Fang can do on it. And if it does a decent amount, I might be able to finish it off with Quick Attack or something. Let's see this guy. It's obviously got the Psychic. That's a lot of damage from a Psychic. Not that I didn't expect this. That's close. I should be able to put it on its ass with a Quick Attack, though. Will it work? Yes, it will. Okay, cool. Quick Attack has definitely proven its worth here against this fight, so I was quite content with that. Well played. And that's about 8 minutes in. Okay. To be fair, it's not a terrible dream to have, you're just not really doing it the right way, at least according to the overarching... Wait, what? What the hell is... Okay, there's just this random spot here. Is there a hidden item here somewhere? No, there's not. Okay, there's just a hidden little bit of area there or something like that. Is that like a glitch or something, or is that meant to be there? Because I thought that was just a straight path. Apparently not. Alright. Well, I've got a lot more rockets to get rid of, and a lot more other shit to deal with. And so it's probably a good idea if I went and replenished my stock of healing items. Especially since I've got over 100k cash stack. That's the first time I've gone over 100k cash stack. And it's going to keep going up because I haven't sold these yet. So I'm going to go well over 130k. Which is nice to have. And so we'll get about, so going, not 5, I think 10 will do the trick for me there. I can get a whole bunch of full heals. I'll get about 30 of those. Well, I can only need to buy 29, so I can do that. And I think that'll do the trick for me. Yeah, there's nothing here that goes anywhere near 200. Floofin's the closest. I'm surprised that Floofin's the closest to 200, actually. I'll buy Pokeballs off screen. I don't think there's anything else here that I really need to pick up. I think that's about it. That should do the trick with the healing, in regards to healing items. I've got some Moo Milks, I've got a few lemonades. That should do the trick for me. Alright, let's get the hell back down there, and we'll go down this pathway, actually, because it's quicker. And... Alright, here we go. Now, this area is a bit weird. It's... I've not actually been here for quite a while, so I don't actually know... I don't actually remember the layout of this place. I know the general I know the general gimmick of this area though, so I should be able to get through it without too much effort. Venomoth, yeah, I'll just murder with a Fire Fang. And then Haunter, I guess I'll just murder you with a Fire Fang as well. You don't have very good defenses. Yeah, they just sort of like... You gotta try to work out which one is actually the correct combination. I think I know what the correct combination is, and... Wait. Oh. I didn't think you had this much accessibility. Because the only doors that are shut are this one here, and the one that you need to get through in order to get to the actual basement floor. Oh well. I'm going to go ahead and grab that item, because that's actually a pretty decent item if my memory serves me correctly. I've got to knock over this burglar here. Yeah, he's just sort of here. There's no real reason for him to be here, but he's just sort of here. He's got Magmars. I don't know why he has Magmars. I guess it's just the most reliable thing to use. Smokescreen, I guess? So he can sneak his way in and grab stuff. I guess that's the reason he's got the face mask on. Aside from, you know, he doesn't want to be identified, of course. Because if people can accurately sort of pick his face, then they'll know who's freaking done it, but... Yeah. He has a Grimer. I'm not too sure what purpose Grimer serves as a burglar, aside from the fact that it's just poison and yuck and that sort of stuff. It's just related. And a Magcargo, which does die in one hit to Earth Power. Unlike that other one that Kaiser couldn't knock out with a single surf, even though it was 4 times weak to it. But yeah, Smoke Ball is nice. Lets you get away from wild Pokemon without any fail whatsoever. So it is really good to have. It's just a shame that you don't get it until so late into the game. And lead with Trap Tricks against this... actually no, put Kaiser back in front. He might have something stupid to lead with here. Alright, Pokemon playthrough of the daytime, I would say, because I've still got a whole bunch of trainers to knock over. So, obviously I got both X and Y on the same day. I dedicated the bulk of my time to X initially, but eventually did get around to doing a Y playthrough. I've actually done 2 different playthroughs on this Y cartridge, and I'm actually in the process of doing a 3rd. I'm just going to talk about the first one here. And this is basically just because I needed to get some stuff from that version, like Yveltal, the other birds, the other starters, and that sort of thing. And so obviously I wanted to use each of the starters at least once, and so for this one I went with Chespin, just because it was my initial choice, and then I decided on, like, at sort of the last minute to go after Froakie, because I figured it would go well with Megazard X. And it did, it worked out quite well, I was quite happy with that, but here I went with Chespin. I named it Spinyman, and this name was sort of inspired from a name that Jish used for one of his Pokemon. He had a Basculin which he named Steiny, and then he used another one because that one was kind of eh. So I got another one and named it Steinyman. And so I decided to just sort of roll with that and call my Chespin Spinyman, which is spelled like spiny, M''N, so there's just no A there, so it's just min. And so, I was, like, the awesome thing about it is that it had its own sort of unique version of Protect in the form of Spiky Shield, and I quite like that because obviously I had to deal with a few things that had Sturdy, and if they just sort of ran into my Spiky Shield, they would have taken a bit of damage and thus would have lost their Sturdy. It wouldn't have been too bad in competitive either, except for the fact that Chestnut is not really that great. But something like that kind of just kills off Focus Ash's Sturdies and that sort of stuff, so it's not too bad. I gave it Bulk Up, and obviously it had access to a decent fighting move and a decent grass move, so it was about as generic as you can get for Chestnut, but I was quite happy with it regardless. I'm gonna get knocked out by this, aren't I? No, I'm taking it like a beast. That should put the Rapidash on its ass then with a Surf. Good stuff. So, for my Fire type, I obviously didn't go for Charizard again. I didn't want to use Megazard Y. I thought I'd just wait a bit until I decided to use it. I haven't used it yet, but I've been I wanted to use a Litleo for a while, but then when I found out that Megazard X was a thing, obviously it got prioritized. Also, why do I have 466 full heals? I know why. There was a full heal up there, up in this little bit here. I guess it registered as over 400 full heals. Because I know I only had about 30 of... I'm pretty sure I only ended up with about 30 of them. And I picked that one up, and I guess it just counted as 436 full heals. That's weird. I don't think I'll be needing that many full heals. And if I'm selling them at about 300 a piece... Let me bring up the calculator here, because I'm totally going to sell these for cash. I'm not going to have any real regrets in doing this. 366, if I left myself with 100, I'd be selling 366 at the cost of about 300 each. That's another 100k cash stack. That is hilarious. I really shouldn't be doing this because it's a glitch, and I shouldn't actually have access to this many full heals, but whatever, I'll take it. I think I read up that there was some kind of bug regarding that full heal, but I didn't know that it hadn't been patched yet. So, oh well, we'll just deal with it, I guess. So, anyways, I used a Litleo. I went and specifically went after a female one. The female ratio, I believe, is 75-25. Yeah, the gender ratio... Well, not the female ratio, but the gender ratio is 75% female to the 25% male. So, wasn't that difficult to get a male one. And this is another one that I named after my classmates. Named after a classmate of mine, rather. Much like the Roserade from the Pearl playthrough from a couple of segments ago. This one I named Kira. The reason for that is because the classmates in question, her star sign was Leo, and so this is the best thing I could bloody come up with to give that name to. So I went with that. Thank you, Burn, because Steel Wing is not going to do jack shit to me now. Yep. Defense is nice, but I'm probably still going to put you on your ass with a quick attack. Fuck you for tanking that hit. I know this thing's got good defenses, but it really should not have been able to tank that. Whatever. Burn finishes it off. And that gets Floof into 45. And Trap Tricks to 44. Bug Bites. It's decent type coverage, I guess, but I don't think it really covers anything that Trap Tricks doesn't already cover. Except for other dark types. But most dark types are going to take neutral damage from grass anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna pass up on that one. If it was a better bug move, I'd have been very much tempted to take it, but I think the moveset that I've got on it now is more than satisfactory. Piloswine I'll switch in, because I know I'll outspeed it. Whether or not I'll be able to kill this thing in one Fire Fang is a different story. If I can't, then it'll probably Earthquake me to death. Okay, put him on its ass. So yeah, it had Hyper Voice, which is kind of cool. I liked how it had a better special attack, and it had actually had a decent stab normal move to work with. Because a side note about Litleo and Pyroar is that they're both just part normal for some reason. That's a weird thing with X and Y, is that a whole bunch of the this generic fire type or this generic electric type is just part normal for some reason. It's the same case with Helioptile and Heliolisk. They're just electric normal for some reason. I'm not entirely sure what the go was. I don't know, it's very weird. The hint that he gives you is actually different in Gold, Silver, and Crystal. As far as I'm aware, if you treat them as going from left to right 1, 2, 3, I believe the solution, you want to draw the solution from Zelda and say that 23 is number 1. Did we get it? Yes, we did. So there we go. 23 is number 1. Draw it straight from Zelda Ocarina of Time. So there you go. Lead with Talia against her. You can hit this switch and it will give you free access out to go and heal. I'm probably not going to need to do that. Yeah, alright. I remember this person having a Gloom for some reason. Do you have a Gloom? No, but you have a Dodoro, and that's just as weak to ice moves. So murder you, and you have a Dodoro, okay. That's cool, you can die too. I don't know what your go is, but whatever. Yeah. Okay, moving on. For my Kanto starter and my water type, you've already worked it out, it's Blastoise. Mega Blastoise to be specific. The name for this one was not awfully original, unfortunately. I named it Pod Cannon, because it looked kind of like a pod, and its Mega has a honking cannon on its back. Yeah, it wasn't very original. I think I was actually... Wait, did I just lose my train of thought on the Pyroar? I think I did. I think I was going through its moveset. It had a fire move. I think it had something that boosts stats, something like that. Whatever. I just liked how it had Hyper Voice. So there you go. As you could probably expect, Mega Blastoise was my Surfer. I don't know if I had any moves that took advantage of its ability as a Mega, which is like it powers up Aura moves and like Sphere moves, and like I think like if it got Aura Sphere, it would power that up, and I think it also powers up Water Pulse, except that it sucks. No, you will be fighting Traptrix. And let me just teach you something here. This is how you crunch. Let that be a lesson to you, dipshit. Yeah, you piss off to your ex... I like how you had an X-Cloud, it's just... I had an answer to it. Not to mention you only had one Pokemon and I had 6. You didn't have a chance of winning. So... we'll give Bulbat a lead here while I talk about the next team member, because there's not much more I can really say about... Hiccups. Not much more I can really say about Mega Blastoise, because it's there. Like I said, I don't remember if I had any real way to take advantage of its Mega Evolution ability, so... for my Electric type, one of the few playthroughs where I used Electric type, I used a Raichu. This didn't actually come too long after I'd finished Blaze Black, so probably might not have been the best idea to go with a Raichu, but I didn't want to use Dedenne. I did not really feel like Dedenne was gonna really cut it for me, so I went with a Pikachu instead, evolved it into Raichu. I named it Raishin. Again, very unoriginal name, but what can you do? Nice crit there. Also, Zen Headbutt, you can just piss off. I'm expecting this thing to Zen Headbutt again, so I'll just go into Traptrix and finish it off with a Seed Bomb, and laugh in its face as it tries to hit me with a Zen Headbutt. No! Well, I was considering Swords Dancing up anyway to get my +2 attack, but it's still Swagger, so you're still gonna just... yeah. And I only stayed confused for one turn anyway. So... my Raichu, I think I gave it a similar moveset to the Pikachu from Blaze Black. I'm not too sure if I actually did give it Grass Knot. It obviously had Thunderbolt and Thunder Wave, and I think it actually had Quick Attack for quite a while because there's similar reason to Floofen having it, so I thought that was quite nice for it to have that. And then for my obligatory flyer, I went with an Aerodactyl. This is about as early in the game as you can get an Aerodactyl in any game, in any Pokemon game in general, so I figured that there was no real reason to not take it, especially since it had access to a Mega Evolution. So that was my second Mega for the playthrough, Mega Aerodactyl. I named it Terrasaur, after the character of Terrasaur from Beast Wars. It's spelt Terra, as in like, Terra is like Neopets Terra Mountain, that sort of thing. Saur. So, yeah, Terrasaur. Kind of a pun name, but most of the names in Beast Wars are pun names already, so you kind of just have to expect that. Are there any other hidden items here? No, it does not look like doesn't look like that's the case. Alright, there is one more Rocket Grunt down here, and I will definitely need to heal up. Use Eliminate on Talia, she doesn't need a milk. Stick with Bulbat. Dispose of me, okay. Whatever. So my Aerodactyl did not start off very well. It had a pretty shit move set. I had to wait until I got to the move relearner which was like Dendermill Town after the 6th gym, rather. Once that happened, though, I was able to give it a couple of elemental fangs. It had a decent rock move, and obviously had fly, and so that's around about when it actually became really, really good, especially after Mega Evolving. It got much quicker, and it just wrecked houses any Aerodactyl would. It's probably my favourite of all the fossil Pokemon, so I was quite happy to be able to get a decent crack out of it. Actually, no, it's not, because Tyrantrum exists. I'm an idiot. It's my second favourite, though. I will definitely say it's my second favourite. And then the last member I used was a Goodra. I was going to use Goodra in X, but then I found out Tyrantrum was a thing, and so it obviously got relegated to this playthrough. It's probably my least favourite pseudo-legend, though. That being said, I've not actually had a chance to use Komodo, or even, like, in any way, shape, or form whatsoever. I will probably do so at some point later, but my current Moon playthrough has already got a Dragon type, which is a Turtonator. And so, Sleep Talk TM. I don't know if I've got Rest. I might be able to put some Rest Talk on something. Kind of like the Suicune I used in Crystal Kaizo. Yeah. So, take the card key. That gets us to the rest of the area of the rest of the area of the radio tower. Yeah, I can't speak English. You should have already worked this out about me, but I can't really speak English. But yeah, Amulet coins, so now we get double the cash stack, so I believe our cash stack woes are pretty much over. And we are in the underground floor of the Mart, the department store, so hooray. So, there you go. Anyways, Derpin Pile, as I named my Goodra, was inspired once again from a nickname that Jish used for one of his Pokemon. In this case, it was his Gothorita, or Gothitelle, actually. Gothitelle, which was named Burton Pile, and so I went with something that sounded very similar, and it was Derpin Pile. It was called Derpin Pile because it was a pile of slime, and as a Goomy, it looked very derpy. So the name just kind of stuck. Especially since it's a sticky Pokemon, and all slimy and shit. But yeah, probably my least favourite of the pseudo-legendaries. I know Snivy's going to be salty at me for saying that. That's assuming Snivy even watches this LP. I don't think he does. But it was pretty good. It only really started being good once it became a Sliggoo. But even then, it kind of did get itself killed a fair amount of times. And the fact that it doesn't evolve until 50, and you need it to be raining, didn't help the cause either. And you can't just use Rain Dance to set it up. It actually has to be raining as you enter battle, which is slightly more annoying than it has any real right to be, but those are the breaks, I guess. But it was fine. I think it had a grass move. I think it might have had like Energy Ball or something like that. It obviously had its obligatory Dragon move. I think it also had Surf because it had access to it, so I had 2 Surf users. And it works for just adding a bit of type coverage onto this thing. Usually Dragon types can learn many different kinds of moves, so you get some good type coverage on them, so obviously I took full advantage of that, and it worked out as well as I would have liked for it to. So I basically did that. Once I'd done the playthrough and beaten the league, all I did was, I caught the Yveltal because I needed it for X, and then I just went and got the rest of the legendaries and didn't do a single thing further with that. I just sent all of the noteworthy stuff along and reset the game and did another playthrough of Y, which I will go on to more of a tangent about in Monday's segment. In the meantime, though, I'm just kind of Ice Beam sweeping Rocket Grunts here, so... Alright, here we go. Here's the first of the Rocket Executive fights. This here would be Proton. The only other time we found him was in the Slowpoke Well. He had absolutely nothing to do with the Safari Zone takeover. Yeah. Because you will totally be able to unleash your wrath on me in any way, shape, or form to begin with. Well, fuck, he's got a team of 6. If all 3 of these guys are going to have a team of 6, this is going to take a long fucking time. Immediately blows up and puts Trap Tricks on her ass. Fine, Turbo Drum. decent damage. The poison did not help there, but whatever. Alright. Well, that's those two taken care of. Cacturne. Cacturne is really weak to bugs, so if Traptrix actually had that bug move, I would be lamenting its loss, but that's fine because Bulbat's got one of her own. Bulbat, now is your time to shine. You've got a move that can murder this thing. Apparently the Cacturne has a move that can murder this as well. Like what? What the hell could this thing possibly have that could be super effective against Bulbat? It's going to be a debate for the ages now because it never got an opportunity to use it. Whatever. Haze. Nope. It's good on a Toxapex, but not here. Tauros. I'll go with Talia. Tauros won't do too much to Talia because it's going to be more physical attacker, and its Intimidate doesn't do much to hurt Ice Beam. And Quick Claw coming in is always nice to have. Takedown did a bit more than it should have, but... And Earth Power should put it on its ass, except it just used a Hyper Potion. Ass. Oh, that was close. Not much more I can really say, because this is the part where it just gets really, really tedious and obnoxious, and because I have to deal with, like, 2 more teams of 6 after this. We have a Camerupt, though. This will die to a Surf, hopefully, except Protect Hacks. I really would appreciate it if you didn't waste my time there. Especially since the damn thing held on with 1 HP. Stupid tanky thing. Crobat, shit. Mirror Match. Gotta have the Mirror Match. Come on. 1 level above. Is this thing gonna put me to sleep? Nope, it's just gonna throw Brave Birds at me. Alright, well, you can go to sleep for a bit. It's going to Citrus Berry up, and I think at this point I'm going to bail out on the Mirror Match. And I'm going to go into Floofen. Yep, there's the Brave Bird, which is not going to do jack shit, and Firefang should then put it on its ass. Okay, there's 1 down. 2 more to go, and then we are done with Team Rocket until that 1 random schmuck in Kanto. Do that, because I really need to heal. God damn, I need to heal. Yeah, I think I'd rather go back to the Pokemon Center. Yeah, it's probably going to waste some bit of time, but I feel like I am going to... I don't know which one was faster, realistically, using the items or just going back to heal, but I've already committed to my decision. And I've already resigned myself to the fact that this is going to be a 40-minute plus segment again, even though I didn't want it to be, so... At least here I'm a bit more accepting of it, because it is dealing with a whole bunch more Team Rocket shit, including executives which all have teams of 6. Speaking of which, Ariana once again. I'm always concerned when I go up against Ariana, because I kept losing to Ariana when I had to redo the... When I had to do the Rocket takeover up at Safari Zone, because the save states kept freezing up on me. Yep. Okay. Also, since this is the last time you'll see her, totally Beepus's mother right there. The similarities in the hair just can't be ignored in the absolute slightest. Anyways, is this thing going to outspeed me and put me to sleep? Nope, it's just going to try to kill me with Psychic. That did 40... it should be able to tank 1 more. Cool. There goes the Jinx. And the Vileplume can just get murdered by a Firefang. Yes, I'm speeding through this because I don't have much else to really talk about, and I'd rather just get these out of the way as quickly as I possibly can. Put you to sleep. Toxic does not help matters, so I'm going to go ahead and heal that immediately. And it can Sleep Talk. Not only did it Sleep Talk, it also got Toxic off said Sleep Talk. And managed to poison me again. Alright, fine. You can die now. It was far more obnoxious than it had any right to be. Okay, Arbok will die to an Earth Power, hopefully. Assuming it tanks the Guk Shot. Guk Shot? If it doesn't kill it, then I lose Talia. I'm gonna lose Talia anyway, but yeah. And the worst part is, she's gonna fucking heal this thing. In that case, Turbo Drum should outspeed, Hydro Pump. And then Thunderbolt. Apparently it out... What the hell is with Arbok? Why the hell is it outspeeding everything on my team? I bet you anything if I send Bulbat in and it freaking outspeed that as well. God. And I'm probably going to have to deal with more Arboks later on. I bet you Koga's got a freaking Arbok just because of how fast it is. Paragli. Please don't attract. Well, I didn't want you to use Hypnosis either, but in that case it missed, so I'm accepting of that. But yeah, Superpower just sort of murders anything that's weak to it. And lastly is a Honchkrow. Kaiser's not going to be able to put it on its ass. It's probably going to get out. It's probably going to outspeed Turbo Drum and put it on its ass as well. So I think what we're going to have to do here is use Traptrix as Death Fodder. Destroy the shit out of, well, heal Turbo Drum so that Turbo Drum can then destroy the shit out of Honchkrow, and it outspeeds the Honchkrow, thus rendering the Death Fodder completely and utterly useless. That was a very pointless death, and that, yeah, that sucked. Alright, one more executive fight to go, and here I'm just gonna spend the time to heal because I only need to revive and then use lemonades, really. Alright, that'll do the trick. What to lead with this time? I think I'll lead with Bulbat. Put whatever his lead is to sleep and work from there, I guess. Throw a save state in case I get my shit punched in here. Yeah, this is a bit more of an epic encounter than it was in Gold Silver Crystal, because in Gold Silver Crystal it was just another room with a... It was just another radio room, that was about it, instead of just this sort of watch point with binoculars and shit like that, and there's not... And I don't think there's as many people around, so... This Zangoose, I remember, has close combat. That's not going to do shit against Bulbat, though, so I imagine it's probably got something maybe like Crush Claw or something. I outspeed it, obviously, because Bulbat's just speedy as fuck like that. Cross Poison, Stab Move, about as good as it's going to get. I don't think it's in range to be healed, and so another Cross Poison should put it on its ass. Okay, good start. His answer is going to be a Gyarados, which only makes sense. I'm expecting this thing to have Ice Fang as a result if he's sending it in. So it only makes sense to murder this thing with a Thunderbolt. Good times. It is now 6 versus 4, very quickly, I might add. Next is Houndoom. I'm expecting this thing to have Solar Beam if he's sending it in now. It's obviously not part Ghost, because he would otherwise have sent... assuming it was part Ghost, he'd have just been able to kill this thing with that sort of move, but I'm expecting this thing to have Solar Beam. Puts up the Sunny Day, so that doesn't exactly help the thing there. I'm going to switch out, because if it's got Sunny Day and is setting it up like this, then it almost certainly has Solar Beam. So I'm going to go into Bulbat. Yeah, I forgot to take into account that he's going to heal as well. Shit. I outspeed it though, Hypnosis, and I guess stick with the Cross Poison. Because the Cross Poison seems to do the trick, and he's used his... what I assume is just his one Hyper Potion for this battle, so I should be able to shut it out. Good stuff. Crit when I don't need it, but whatever. At least I know I'm getting them. Machamp is coming in, which telegraphs a Stone Edge to me, so I don't want to send in Traptrix because it's weak to it. I'll go for Floofen, even though this thing almost certainly has Stone Edge.
I outspeed it though. Fire Fang should do a decent amount. Burn! Burn Hacks is good. It's also got Earthquake, but that Earthquake should not do quite as much damage. Did I just see that correctly? I was going to be pissed off by it getting a lucky critical, and it didn't even get a critical. It just outright killed me with Earthquake. That is some shit. You get the hell out of my face. That was horrid. God. Ugh. And says, thank you. It's the one type it's weak to I have just lost. Alright, fine. Put it to sleep. Put it to sleep. Put it to sleep. Jesus Christ. Now, oh yeah, Kaiser. I can flamethrower it. Hey, Dragon Rage. I'm surprised you didn't Bullet Punch there. That would have been the optimal choice there, but oh well. Put it on its ass. And lastly is a Drapion. Drapion will die to an Earth Power with any luck. It's the only type it's weak to. Well, I'm just going to have to tell you to get fucked, because Citrus Berry. Yeah, it'll take another crunch. Should take another cross poison as well, so that's it. It's over. Team Rocket's shenanigans are done and dusted. That I have to acknowledge that these battles could have been a lot more obnoxious than they are. I'm just sort of like if they're sending in stuff that's clearly weak to what I've got out, it's obvious that they've got moves that will be able to counter me. Sunny Day Solar Beam on Houndoom only makes sense if he's gonna send it in after a thing. Wait, what? Oh, get fucked. Oh, get fucked. I didn't even get the opportunity to fucking heal. Oh, that's gonna suck. Oh, no. And I get the feeling that if I don't put this thing to sleep, it's gonna fucking murder me. This thing can get Thunderbolt. Oh, shit. This is terrible. Oh, fuck my life. Alright, we'll just slug it out. I'm gonna have to try to get, Oh. Yeah, I checked in here just because I was wondering, wait, Bulbat shouldn't have this much HP. Okay, so I actually am healed for this fight. I guess I won't complain about it then. Alright, well, at least this is even more epic than it was before. Rhyperior, I'm expecting to have Solid Rock. Even if it's got a ground move, Turbo Drum can't be hit by it. So, Hydro Pump is still going to do a lot of damage. Level 50. Get fucked. Level 50. Does this thing have Solid Rock? If it tanks it, then it'll almost certainly have Solid Rock. Either I was just too strong for it, even with Solid Rock, or it had Lightning Rod. Oh well, it's dead anyway, so... Tauros. That thing's got a bit of pace on it actually, so I'm going to try to Thunder Wave it. Double Edge just for hitting hard, I guess. Go into a Thunder Wave here. Now, what's my best physical tank? None of them. None of them are actually that good at tanking physical moves. I'm now debating if I want to try to kill this thing with a Hydro Pump, because if I lose this and it turns out I need Turbo Drum for later, I don't want to have to like use something as Death Fodder to heal Turbo Drum back up, so... I'll go into Floofen. Oh, go fuck yourself, game. You do not have that much fucking predictability powers. Fuck. Fire Fang's not going to kill it. And besides, I should have used fucking superpower anyway. I'm thankful that his Stone Edge missed, because otherwise that was my foolish mistake. Yeah, I called it. There's a Nidoking. I could knock it out with Talia, though. We'll go with Talia. In case it's got like a really hard fire type that I've got to deal with, or something like that. Nidoking should be not too difficult to deal with. It might have Focus Blast though, which might pose a bit of a problem. Well, I'm getting at least one Ice Beam in because Quick Claw is a thing. Whether the Quick Claw is necessary or not, I've got no idea. The Nidoking is one-shotted by the Ice Beam, so I don't have to worry about any Focus Blast shenanigans or like Brick Break or whatever. Kangaskhan. If it outspeeds Flufin, it's going to put Flufin on its ass. I'm going to stay in though, because at the very least, Superpower is still going to do a decent amount of damage. Giovanni's been quite easy so far. Ooh, that's not good. Yeah, Earthquake will murder that thing. Alright, rip. Probably going to use a full restore here if I'm, well, Hyper Potion at least. So I'm just going to go for the damage. Yeah, full restore. I guess he's just high up enough to warrant the use of that. Also, that Wake Up shenanigans there was a bit more obnoxious than it had any real right to be. Killed itself through residual damage though. So what's the last Pokemon? Nidoqueen. I shall proceed to murder you with Hydro Pump. No, I said I will proceed to murder you with Hydro Pump. Thank you very much. Now we are done with Team Rocket. This is a very long fucking segment. But even I didn't exactly expect to see Giovanni here. I should have... I've seen the document. I've seen the documentation on this. But I don't know. I guess it didn't tell me anything about Giovanni, or... I don't know. It is what it is. And he just abruptly leaves. Okay. Whatever. Well, that's cool. Gives me the Silver Wing. Now, at this point in Gold, Silver, Crystal, I would just be able to go and grab Lugia right now. Unfortunately, in these remakes, they have added one other prerequisite, which I don't have yet, and I can't get until I've knocked the 8th gym leader over. Yeah. Shut up! Okay, thank you. Well, at least that was kind of a noteworthy way of ending the week, I suppose. We are approaching 49 minutes recording time here, and so I think I'm about done. Don't even know why I'm taking the time to go back to the Pokemon Center, but whatever, I'm taking the time to go back to the Pokemon Center. No one can stop me. So that's it. That is the end of Team Rocket, and so next time we will be going through Route 44. I will be, if I can reach the grassy patch without triggering any of the trainer battles, then I'll obviously be picking up everything that is there. We'll be going through that, knocking the trainers over, going through Ice Path, and ending up in Blackthorn City. So, I will see you next week for that, and all future endeavors from there on out. Something. Yeah. Bagel Pants!